Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into Monday Night Raw from July the 8th, 2024. A boring show. Monday Night Raw continues to be boring. They still continue to use the same cast of characters. Triple H has no idea what he's doing. There were a couple of bright spots on the show, but there was more bad than good on the show, as always, basically. So we kicked the show off with CM Punk. He came out, he gets on the mic, he puts over John Cena, he respects him, and he wants to face him before he hangs up his boots in 2025. So CM Punk continues to run down Drew McIntyre, said that he's coming to collect, he's going to continue to make Drew's life a living hell, basically. And as long as he has air in his lungs, he's going to continue to beat down Drew McIntyre. He just wants to get his hands on Drew McIntyre. And he wants Adam Pearce to lift the suspension so he can handle the problem known as Drew McIntyre. Punk also says that actions have consequences. So Seth Rollins comes out, he interrupts CM Punk. He basically just says that he has no respect for Punk for what he did. Punk only cares about himself. And basically, Seth Rollins tells CM Punk to stay out of his business. This was between him and Damian Priest, not between him and Drew McIntyre. So CM Punk basically gave him a sarcastic apology by saying that he was sorry, but he never did. He didn't even mean it at all. So Rollins continues to jaw jack with Punk. Rollins says that CM Punk is the king of propaganda. He's also sly and crafty. And Seth Rollins said that CM Punk took everything from him, basically. The world title was his everything. And he says whenever CM Punk is all medically cleared and ready to go, he won't be able to say the name Drew McIntyre because Rollins is going to just snap his arm and put it back on the shelf. And then Rollins says actions have consequences. So this was okay. This was just a little bit too long for my liking. I get it. It makes sense. But am I excited about it? Sort of, kind of. But again, Rollins not being on SummerSlam is not good. But we've got 3 weeks. So we'll see what Triple H is going to cook up. Not really like he's going to really do much of anything, if we're being honest. Moving on. So Adam Pearce is backstage. He's talking to Dom. And he tells him that Liv Morgan requested the match. Dom wants to basically get out of the match. And Adam Pearce is like, nah. There's nothing he can do about it. His hands are tied. And Adam Pearce wishes Dominic Mysterio a happy Monday. Okay. Cool, I guess. Moving on. So Liv Morgan, she walks up to Dom. Dom basically asks why is she doing this to him. Liv Morgan says that she's doing this for him. She felt bad about last week and she wanted to let him be Daddy Dom. And Dom says they better win. Liv Morgan says it's time to talk strategy. Dom says that she better have some chicken tenders or chicken nuggets. Alright, cool. Moving on. First match of the night. Jey Uso defeats Chad Gable via the help of the Wyatt Sick. So Jay wins via the spear real quick. He gets out of dodge. He hightails it. He gets the fuck up out of there. So the lights, they flicker on and off. They go black. Nikki Cross shows up. She hands Michael Cole another VHS tape. Alright, that's fine. Moving on. Sheamus is backstage. He's celebrating 15 years being in WWE. Sheamus says it takes 15 years to understand this business. All the young cats think you can take shortcuts. So Bronson Reed comes into play. He cuts off Sheamus. So he says that they should be talking about him because he's the future while Sheamus is stuck in the past. Sheamus calls Bronson Reed a crybaby. Bronson Reed should know what comes next when you interrupt Sheamus. And then Sheamus proceeds to challenge him to a match later on for next week, like proper fellas. So Bronson Reed accepts, basically. He just says, not tonight. Alright, that's fine, I guess. Who gives a shit? So, Bronson Reed defeats Pete Dunne via the Tsunami. Post-match, Sheamus comes out to help out his former Brawling Brute buddy, Pete Dunne. And then Pete Dunne shoves him off. And then Michael Cole says on commentary, Pete Dunne hadn't forgot how Sheamus left them. He ended the Brawling Brutes when he got injured and everything. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like, who cares about this shit? This shit happened, like, well over a year ago. Like, this is old news. What the fuck? Moving on. So, Damian Priest, he's backstage. Damian Priest tells Finn Balor and Carlito to handle their business. And then Seth Rollins comes into play. So Finn Balor and the rest of the Judgment Day, they bounce out. So Seth Rollins says it's better to be lucky than good. He says that on Saturday, Damian Priest was lucky. He was also very good. Most importantly, Damian Priest kept his word that the Judgment Day didn't get involved. Because Priest kept his word, Rollins is going to keep his. Rollins won't come out to the World Heavyweight Championship as long as Priest is champion. As good as Priest was on Saturday, if he wants the title, he has to be better at SummerSlam. So, Damian Priest then stops Seth Rollins from leaving. Damian Priest says that he kept his word and he knows Rollins kept his. Like, Damian Priest still has a lot to prove. That gentleman's agreement is out the window. When he's done with Gunther, he'll give Rollins another shot. Rollins just needs to name the time and the place, and then both of them shake hands. I'm like, okay, what kind of fuckery is this? This is all for naught. Why even do the gentleman's agreement 2 weeks ago? I mean, a week ago. Why even do it? It was all for naught. This is absolutely dumb. This is stupid. More Triple H booking. He does not know what he's doing. Triple H has no idea. He's lost his mind. This makes no sense. Moving on. So, Sami Zayn comes out. He says that he's not an underdog anymore. He's a champion. He said he's earned a certain amount of respect in this ring. Braun Breaker didn't bring that respect to Toronto. Sami Zayn said that it's one thing to knock down Sami Zayn. It's another to try to keep him down. So Braun comes out. He stares down Sami. And then Sami asks if he has an issue or whatever. So then Sami shuts the microphone in Braun's chest. Braun Breaker says that he came out here to tell Sami Zayn that he's the only guy who beat him in that locker room. And then Braun Breaker says that there's no reason for a rematch. And then he spears Sami Zayn. Officials come out, so Adam Pearce, as well as Petey Williams and Jason Jordan, and a couple other guys, they were out there. Breaker bypassed all those guys, and he spears Sami Zayn again. Ilya Dragunov comes out to make the save. And that was it. So that's fine, I guess, but again, this doesn't make any sense. All right? Braun Breaker needs to be built up. I don't know what's Triple H's issue with Braun, but he's the future. All right? With John Cena leaving next year, Roman Reigns in the process of leaving in due time. Randy Orton, same thing. He's going to be winding down and retiring probably in the next couple of years, I would assume. So these are all assumptions. But with some of those guys or most of those guys leaving, you got to make way for the future. And Braun is part of that future. So, do better, Triple H. Do fucking better. Moving on. So, Ilya, he wants to face Braun Breaker for what he did earlier on to Sami Zayn. That's fine. They're kind of abusing the feud between Braun Breaker and Ilya Dragunov. Speaking of which, a feud that I don't care about it at all. For Judgment Day, they defeated Braun Breaker. My bad. They defeated Awesome Truth and Braun Strowman. Who cares? This doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm not concerned about this at all, so fuck this. Moving on. So Adam Pearce is backstage at CM Punk. Adam Pearce tells CM Punk to go home. And he's going to schedule a meeting with Drew McIntyre next week and hopes he can stay professional. And he tells Punk to leave if he's got title aspirations, as well as if he wants his match with Drew McIntyre. That's fine, I guess. Moving on. So, more Judgment Day stuff. So, Dom, he's backstage. He says he doesn't want to tag with Liv Morgan. All he wants to do is beat his deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio. Liv Morgan says that's what she wants and tells Dom to relax. He's so tense. And then she basically starts to stretch his leg seductively, which was cool. And everybody from Judgment Day was like, oh shit, I see what's going down. So Damian Priest, the rest of Judgment Day walk in. Damian Priest has told Dom 1,000 times that he should handle his business. And Damian Priest said he's starting to understand Ray even more. Dom says he promises to get this done. He walks off. Damian Priest says that Dom will have to learn about this on his own. He'll have to learn about the consequences. Finn Balor mentions that Damian Priest has news, but Damian Priest says he'll let Mysterio find out later. That's fine. Moving on. More Wyatt Sick stuff. So, Bo Dallas, he's backstage. So, Uncle Howdy tells him to say more about his family. So, Bo, he smiles, and he says that he took those that no one wanted. They were discarded and forgotten. Bo Dallas gave them a purpose. He gave them, Bo Dallas says that they're so happy that you remember them. Being a glutton for punishment doesn't make abandonment any less painful. There's been too much loss, but grief is the price you pay for love. Now they must set the captives free. They need no master. So Bud Alice asks if they're sick. Uncle Howdy says, yes, I do. Bud Alice looks into the camera as the members of the Wyatt Six appear on the screen. Bud Alice said, then sick is what we will be. So that's cool. I do like that. Moving on. So Chad Gable is backstage. He wants Adam Pearce to take care of his Wyatt Six problem and his issue. And so Chad Gable then says he'll figure it out. He's got it himself. I'm just like, why is this moving so slow? I have no idea what Triple H is doing. Again, a lot of this stuff is moving at a snail's pace, and I don't like it. Moving on. So Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker. So Braun beats the shit out of Dragunov with a steel chair. So Ilya wins via DQ. Sami Zayn comes out and he runs off Braun Breaker. So this sets up for their match at SummerSlam. That's fine. Who gives a damn? It's going to be another rematch. Boy. So Damian Priest said that his name is still in the World Heavyweight Championship. He didn't ask for Drew McIntyre to cash in Money in the Bank or for CM Punk to interfere. What champion doesn't have some controversy? Damian Priest went to war with Seth Rollins and won. Damian Priest is looking forward to his next challenge. The challenge isn't Gunther, it's to himself and his greatness. Damian Priest will walk in the SummerSlam as champion and leave the same way. Damian Priest tells Gunther to come to Raw next week so he can join everyone. Okay, who gives a damn? Moving on. So, Karrion Kross is backstage with the Final Testament. Karrion Kross sarcastically says that Kofi Kingston will not be playing the accordion. Legends of the old guard will be the death of this business if left unchecked. They hold New Blood back. They are the true enemy of us all in one way or the other. The old guard will make way for the new. Even John Cena realizes his time is almost up. Karrion Kross knows Xavier Woods hears him. Xavier Woods beat Karrion Kross when Kofi Kingston could not. If Woods comes with him, he can create the ultimate legacy. If he goes with Kingston, Karrion Kross will hospitalize him. The New Day is dead. And Xavier Woods is the last to realize. Karrion Kross says, so saith the Final Testament. Okay, that's cool. I like this. I would love to see a Karrion Kross and John Cena match. I think that would be fun. That would kick major ass. If done right. But they have to build up Kross tremendously. Moving on. So, Damage Control, they defeat they defeat Lyra Valkyria and Casey Squared. Then post-match, Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, as well as Sonya Deville, they show up and they beat the shit out of Damage Control. That's cool. I do like this. So, moving on. So, Zelina Vega's backstage with Kathy Kelly. She said if it wasn't for Dominic Mysterio, or Dirty Dominic Mysterio, she would be the Women's World Champion. Dom and Liv are hot messes. Ray says it's a pleasure to team with Zelina Vega. Tonight, they'll put an end to the story and shut Dom and Liv up. And they'll enjoy that tonight. So, Sonya Deville and Zoe Stark, they basically said the reason why they did what they did because they're going to put the women's division on notice. And the reason why they are aligned with the reason why they are aligned with Sonya Deville is because they want... she wants them to succeed. She wants them to realize the potential that they never had. And they're here to tell everyone that there's nothing that they can't do. And they're going to put the entire women's division on notice. All right, that's fine, I guess. Who gives a damn? That's cool, though. So Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they walk up and they said as long as they have the gold, it's their division. And then Sonya Deville says not for long. All right, who gives a damn? Fuck this. Moving on. Gunther, he says that his name brings power, dominance, and proceeds to the sport. How did he become the man who strikes fear in every ring around the world? He's the greatest and longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. He's the king of the ring. Soon he'll be World Heavyweight Champion. He's not a child watching for this entertainment. He's not a fanboy living his dream. All that matters is winning. Gunther saw an opportunity in a sport that lacked a powerful figure. He had no choice but to call his name. They needed him. Gunther did not need WWE. Gunther embraced NXT UK as his battleground. But all he saw were children chasing fantasies and desecrating the sport. They realized he enjoyed making people miserable. Gunther has restored honor and prestige to this great sport. And that's what's on the line at SummerSlam. Okay, that's cool. We'll see how this goes. Moving on. So, Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, they defeat Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega. Liv Morgan trips up Rey Mysterio. And Dom and Liv were about to get freaky. Then Rhea Ripley came out to a really good reaction and pop. And she stared down Liv Morgan, who hauled ass real quick and she stared angrily into the eyes of Dom. So Dom knew that he fucked up. And Dom goes for a hug, but she shoves him off, and that was the end of the show. Damn. So this is fine. This actually does make sense. Monday Night Raw continues to be boring. The Judgment Day stuff, fuck it. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, that stuff is fine. Rhea coming back is great. That's good. We could have waited just a couple more weeks, but we'll see where this goes. The Wyatt Sick stuff is cool, but it's moving at a snail's pace as well. But Monday Night Raw continues to be a bore. What did you guys think of the show? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.